Hello, my name's Lynn Stone. I'm a London-based children's book illustrator, and today I'm going to give you some tips on how to draw. Okay, I'm going to show you how to draw an elf, and you're going to need a pencil, and I would always have a rubber for mistakes. Okay, first of all I'm going to draw a sort of a circle, I guess, very pale, and then I'm going to draw a kind of, I guess, an upside triangle underneath, like this is the best way to describe it, but obviously without pointed edges and everything. Then I'm going to draw a line running down the middle. Now that is to indicate the middle of the face, because my elf is going to be turned slightly away from us. They're not face on. Then we need to draw a guideline for where we want the eyes to appear, and then a guideline for the nose, and then one for the mouth. Now these outside lines can be, and probably will be, adjusted as you go along. Next we want to indicate the edge of the face, so we want just the same as in a human face, we need the brow bone, and we need to indicate a cheekbone, and I'm going to really emphasize the cheekbone in an elf, so it's quite prominent, and then a hint of a chin, and then we come across with the jawline and up, and I'm not going to draw any more of that for the moment. Next I'm going to draw in the ears. Now an elf characteristically has rather large Spock-like pointed ears, so we're just going to draw the outside shape for the moment and the same for the other side. So in actual fact I'm going to move that out a little bit, it's a little bit too far in, so if we bring this up, and we're going to draw the outside, and I'm going to bring that down a little bit as well on this side, like so, and keep it all very light for the moment, so that at a later stage if you want to alter anything you've done, you can. Now at this stage I'm going to draw in the neck, the back of the neck, and the front of the neck. Okay. Obviously I'm going to concentrate today on just the face, because to be honest the rest of the body of an elf is pretty much the same as the human figure, although I would make them look quite slim if I was doing that. So I'm just going to do the face today. Next we're going to draw in the nose, and we want to keep the nose quite petite and small on an elf, which is another sort of characteristic of most elves, and I think of Tolkien's elves. And then we bring top of the nose up, so we're keeping that quite small. And next we're going to draw in the mouth, so we need to draw the bridge with the mouth in, and I'm going to have my elf smiling a little bit. I think that would be quite nice. So that's the middle of the mouth, and then I need to draw the top of the mouth like this, and then the bottom of the mouth. Now already I'm really putting the mouth in a slightly different position to my original mark. You might find that as you go along you will be doing the same thing as well. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, and then to give the mouth a three-dimensional feel, a little trick that a lot of artists use is to put a little bit of shading just inside, like so. So not to the edge, because immediately if you do that it will flatten. Okay, so next we're going to look at the eyebrows, and on an elf they're going to really arch upwards and be quite expressive. And you can make them kind of quite long, really. Far longer than a human's eyebrows would be, certainly. For the eyes, I kind of would make a line here for the centre and then a line on the other side so that you can get the placing of the eyes correct, and also the fact that they slant quite a lot as well. And then you need to actually draw either side of that line the shape of the eye itself. And for the bottom, like so. And then we do exactly the same on the other side. And the under part of the eye. So that's the basic shape for the eyes. Now the pupils, I would do them centre. The last thing you want is a cross-eyed elf. So you want to kind of, obviously the left eye is going to turn inward slightly because this elf is looking at us. So you must be aware of that. If you try to centralise this eye, he would look, well, or he or she would look very odd indeed. Okay, next we need to centre the pupils. That's the same on both eyes, in the centre. Now a little trick you can use with eyes to make them more liquid and to make them look more alive is to quarter a section of the eye in each, then shade in the large part. And immediately you get this kind of wet looking eye with the light reflected in it. Next we're going to indicate a bit of lid at the top, the same for the other side. Again, it doesn't have to go all the way down on either side. In fact, it wouldn't look natural if you did do it that way. Then we need to sort of just indicate the corner of the eye, the little tear duct in the corner of the eye, and just maybe give it a bit of shaping underneath. Now we can work a little bit more on those ears, because we just did a basic shape initially. Okay, now our elf at the moment hasn't got any eyelashes, so we're going to add eyelashes next. Little tiny flicks like this. Okay. Obviously, you've probably guessed already, I'm drawing a female elf. Now, just for a bit of characterisation, I'm going to add a few freckles, just for a bit of fun really. You don't have to add freckles, but I just thought, hey, let's make it a bit fun. And we want to, just like on a human face, you need to indicate the cheekbones as well. Okay. So we just add a bit of shading. Oops, a little bit too harsh there. A little bit shading on the cheekbones. Like so. And also on the lids, just a wee bit. Not too heavy. We don't want to overdo it. And the temple as well, you want to, just like on a human face, you want to indicate a little bit of temple by shading. And there you get the shape of the cheekbone in position. Okay, next I'm going to add some shading to the neck. Yes, I'm also going to do this. Let's define the eyebrows a little bit more as well before we move on to the hair. Okay, so next we obviously need to give our elf some hair. Now with hair I would draw it out very, very palely at first. Now I can be a little bit more confident with my line work. And well, that's my version of an elf.